And as tensions between countries intensify, we're taking a closer look at the military perspective of such large-scale action abroad. Fox 40's Sierra Krug spoke one-on-one tonight with a former IDF officer and a geopolitical intelligence expert based here in California. Sierra.
Well, Dennis, obviously there's a great divide in reaction to this military intervention under the Trump administration. A Californian who served in the Israeli forces in the past tells me from a military perspective, he believes this action was justified, calling the Iranian regime and its pursuit of rebuilding its nuclear arms an existential threat. Meanwhile, some California lawmakers reiterate while they support the Iranian people, they see these recent strikes as unconstitutional and a direct violation of the War Powers Act of 1973.
This isn't something that sort of just happened over the last few days. It's not something that is brand new. This has been building for a very long time.
The United States and Israel launching a vast military operation Saturday. Explosions rippling through the Iranian capital, Tehran. The effort taking down Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This joint action coming 8 months after the U.S.-led airstrikes in Iran this past June. A mission ending with President Donald Trump claiming to have destroyed the Iranian regime's nuclear weapon supply. That's why many, like U.S. Senator Adam Schiff, are questioning the president's justification for intervening in the Middle East again.
This is another broad use of American military force that is been approved only by the president. That is not what is permitted under the Constitution.
The War Powers Act of 1973 limits the president from involving the United States in war with a foreign nation without congressional approval. According to the Constitution, in order for the United States to strike, Iran would have needed to pose an imminent threat.
Now, this Iranian regime is a brutal, murderous regime, and I stand with the Iranian people who have bravely stood up to and protested. But the president has not made the case to the American people why we need to go to war.
However, others say this action was not only justified, but imperative. Fox 40 speaking one-on-one with Eric Shore. He's a former IDF officer now based here in California, serving as a geopolitical intelligence director.
What has happened since June? Well, in particular, there was an attempt at negotiations. However, the Iranian regime seemed adamant on trying to rebuild its damaged nuclear weapons program and to continue unhindered in its ballistic missile acquirement and development as well.
Shore citing the Iranian government's nuclear weapons program and failure to negotiate, also describing the Iranian regime under Ayatollah Ali Khamenei as an existential threat.
These are the people who constantly said death to America. This regime has been not only a purveyor of terrorism and horror across the Middle East and the world, but also at home. Over the last 6 weeks, they have killed some estimates between 10 to 30,000 of their own citizens who are just marching in the streets because they want freedom from this regime.
The Iranian government has since retaliated, launching strikes at U.S. bases and allies.
It will involve many more risks to American service members.
Shore says we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I think what we're seeing here is the United States and Israel removing an existential threat to our countries. And also providing an opportunity, a doorway, a pathway for the free people of Iran to become free at last.
Senator Schiff confirms he and other political leaders are calling for Congress to go into session and vote on a war powers resolution. He says there should be no further action without congressional approval. Dennis?
Sierra, thank you for that report.